Hello, everybody. It is time for me to record my office hours and my newsletter, and I'm doing it live. We'll do it live, as they say. And where did my script go? There it is. Hey, folks. Has new Kindles. Yay. Plus, we're totally not headed to a big dip in the chip market. I'll explain why we're totally not headed. Okay. So the first thing that I do, Zoe, when I hi Zoe, when I do the newsletter, is I run it through ChatGPT for proofreading, and then I see if ChatGPT gives me back all of my text, which it doesn't always do. Okay, it's doing a good job today of just fixing typos. Okay. Then the second thing I do is say, format this for Substack. This is the one where it's more likely to mess up and decide to just take something out or add, every once in a while it adds something in. All right. Yeah. No, that's not. No. Hey, could you leave in all the text without changes, but just change the formatting for Substack, please? It was like turning everything into bullet points and getting rid. Oh, it's giving me two versions. This is it. I've never seen this before. Here, I'll share this screen if you like. I'm getting A/B tested. Yeah, interesting. Hey, PC Milesy, Clinton, Selvin. Any amount of time is a good amount of time. Oh, so this one put in a... Okay. U.S. Federal Trade Commission. End users. Okay. Seems like the other side got done faster. It did not fix. It didn't fix a typo. Oh, boo. Okay, I think that's better. I didn't get to do the A/B testing, though. It crashed and went away. Clean for a Substack newsletter. All right. And then the last check that I do after so I'll copy that out. And put that in the actual newsletter. Let me share that screen. Then I've got the actual newsletter. I will record this and then read it. And while I'm recording it, I'll be able to. I think I did. I think I broke it. While I'm recording it, I'll be able to look for any other weirdness, or typos it missed, or things that I know should be there that aren't. So let me get Daily Tech Newsletter up and running. Okay. Okay, that works. I don't need it to. Why does it keep trying to go wide? Okay. What should the title be? All right, here we go. Welcome to the Daily Tech Newsletter, read by me, Tom Merritt, gratefully to you, the subscriber, for subscribing to our Substack. Today, Amazon has new Kindles! Yay! Plus, we're totally not headed to a big dip in the chip market. I'll explain why we're totally not headed there. Let's get to the big story, though. Amazon announced several new Kindle models, including its first color e-ink version, the Kindle ColorSoft. Kindle ColorSoft ships October 30th for $279.99. Monochrome is displayed at the usual 300 pixels per inch resolution, while color images and illustrations will be at 150 ppi. Because it's e-ink, it lasts 8 weeks on a charge. It has a 7-inch screen, weighs 7.7 ounces, has 32 gigabytes of storage, wireless charging, and sensors for auto-adjusting brightness and color temp. Kindle Scribe is an updated version of that model, has a new textured screen coating that's supposed to make it feel more like paper, a white bezel, so it just fades from white to white. It's a nice infinity pool effect for your page. The included premium pen accessory has a soft-tipped end to feel more like an eraser, and a new software feature lets you draw in the margins of an ebook, and then the text will flow around your notes. It ships December 4th, starting at $399.99. There's also a new Kindle Paperwhite with a 7-inch screen that's up from 6.8 inches and a promised 35% faster page turn. I think that's supposed to be 25% faster page turn. It's available now starting at $159.99 with double the base storage of 16 gigabytes of storage there. And the Signature Edition has 32 gigabytes of storage, a sensor for automatic brightness control, and more. The basic Kindle, which is still just called the Kindle, is the least updated of the new ones. Amazon says it has faster page turns, better contrast, and is 25% brighter, matching the Paperwhite in brightness. It's now $109.99, up $10. So you'll pay $110 instead of $100, and it is available now. Bless you, Amazon, for not doing a several-hour video presentation of these. On to the briefs. The Netherlands ASML, it makes the world's most advanced chip-making machines, lowered the top end of its guidance for 2025 net sales. The slowness is because of non-AI chip sectors. This is not ASML saying the AI chip orders are slowing down. This is them saying purchases from Intel are slowing down. Purchases from China are slowing down. Now, most analysts think this is ASML specific, that China's going to bounce back, and that maybe some of the other folks that are slowing down their orders are just trying to negotiate a better price. Or is it? I'll be interested to hear what the executives say on their earnings call. It strikes me as odd to hear that the biggest chip-making equipment company in the world is forecasting slow growth, and the analysts are coming up with excuses for why it's not really an indicator of chip sector growth, especially along with yesterday's news that South Korea is expecting peak exports from RAM soon. I'm not saying it means AI demand is about to peak and we're headed for a downturn in chip-based product, but let me just note that trade wars between the two biggest countries in chip-based products don't make for the sunniest outlook for the sector. It's a very complicated situation. I'm sure the analysts are right, and everything's going to be just fine. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission adopted rules on Wednesday that it calls click to cancel. The rules require a business to offer you, the customer, a method for canceling a subscription in the same way you signed up for it. So if you sign up entirely online, the business can't make you call to cancel. There are also some new rules about clearly disclosing the terms of a subscription and getting clear consent before charging you. The rules must be published in the Federal Register first, and that should happen pretty soon. Then they will go into effect 180 days, 6 months after being published. The European Commission has determined that X does not qualify as a gatekeeper in Europe and therefore is not subject to the stricter requirements of the EU's Digital Markets Act. That includes things like third-party ad targeting and such, though X will still be subject to the GDPR about such matters. X is also still subject to provisions of the Digital Services Act, the DSA, which confuses matters, but governs things like algorithmic transparency and accountability. Anyway, the EC determined X was not a gatekeeper under the DMA because, quote, X is not an important gateway for business users to reach end users. They just don't have enough clients there. Intel, AMD, Microsoft, and a few other companies have formed the x86 group to help drive software and interface standards for x86-powered devices. It will also help those device makers compete with devices based on ARM designs. The group wants to make sure there is clear compatibility across devices that use the x86 instruction set. Also on board with the x86 standard setting group are Meta, both of the HPs, HP Inc. and HP Enterprise, Google, Lenovo, Dell, Oracle, Broadcom, Red Hat, Epic's Tim Sweeney, and Linus Torvalds. I mean, if you really want to compete with ARM, license out x86 to more makers. That was an unthinkable prospect until now, and it's most likely still unthinkable, but this is the kind of thing I would see as the start of that kind of process if it were to ever happen, which it won't, but I'm saying there's a chance. Amazon announced that 175 million of its users have installed passkeys on their accounts. Amazon has more than 300 million customers, so that's around half. Passkeys sign you in more securely than passwords, and Amazon says in its system it's 6 times faster to log in if you're using the passkey. But the passkey rollout is still confusing, even for the tech-savvy. For example, and I'm sure it's user error, I used my passkey to sign into Amazon, but it still asked for the 2FA code. That seemed odd to me. Maybe I did something wrong. It's probably me, right? The Analog 3D, a rebuild of the Nintendo 64 from scratch, will ship in the first quarter of next year for $250. You can pre-order it starting Monday, October 21st. The Analog 3D uses an FPGA chip to emulate the N64 and promises to have support for every official Nintendo 64 cartridge from all regions. Cartridges, mind you, not ROMs. Using FPGAs rather than software emulation means you get more accurate interpretation and less input lag, among other things. It also has an advantage over plugging in an actual N64 in that it supports 4K outputs, variable refresh rate displays, and other features of modern televisions that the original N64 does not. Amazon plans to get in on the trend of hooking up data centers to nuclear reactors. Microsoft is bringing an old 3 Mile Island reactor online for its purposes. Google is contracting with a startup to build some for it. And Amazon announced 3 new agreements to build small modular reactors, or SMRs. These generate lower amounts of megawatts, but can be built faster and closer to the grid. The agreements are with Washington State's Energy Northwest, a company called X Energy, and Virginia's Dominion Energy. Finally, you think of TikTok as being huge in Asia and the US, and it is, but it's experiencing major growth elsewhere. TikTok reported revenue of $4.6 billion US in markets outside Asia, Oceania, and the US. Oceania is Australia and New Zealand for the most part. We got some interesting reads in there today as well. Ars Technica tells you how to install Windows 11 on unsupported PCs. The Artemis moon suit, designed by Axiom Space and Prada, was revealed in Milan. Wired has an article about how anyone can use character.ai to turn an AI chatbot into you, and that there's not a lot you can do to stop them. Great article on The Conversation about Black Myth Wukong, how China's gaming revolution is fueling its tech power, and Microsoft deciding to cut back on office space, not doing the Amazon thing and making everybody go back into the office. Microsoft just saying, you know what, we don't need those offices. That's in the Substack. Thanks for subscribing. Talk to you soon. Okay. There we go. Boy, nobody said anything while I was doing that. I was like, oh, I got to catch up on all the chats, but there were none. All right. That is the Daily Tech Newsletter. And now I just need to find that MP3 file that I just recorded and slide it in here. Boopity boopity boop. Did you all happen to notice there were a lot of typos that ChatGPT did not catch, and I was using Grammarly to have to fix them on the fly? It's not usually like that. There's not usually any, honestly. Maybe one, but yeah, that was disappointing. ChatGPT has been very inconsistent about how it does its thing for me. I assume if I were a better prompt engineer, I would have figured it out and how to make it do the exact same thing every time, but it is not real good about that. All right, this is Wednesday, so this post goes to the paid subscribers of the newsletter, and there it goes. It's off on its merry way. Oh, look, I got the notification immediately. It's interesting. I always check the notification because some days I get it, like I press the publish button and the notification comes right away. Most days I press the notification button and then the notification, or I press the publish button and then, you know, there's a beat and then it comes. Sometimes it's like almost immediate. It's weird, but most days it's like this. I press it and then it shows up. Every once in a while I press it. I've waited up to, I think the longest I ever waited was probably 5 minutes for it to make its way through the system. But yeah, it's always interesting to me why that happens. Anyway, that's what I planned to do on the old live stream there. So congrats. Congrats? Why did I say congrats? Who am I congratulating? Congrats, you're done, Tom. Good job, you. Pat on the back. We have an interesting, weird week. I am not on DTNS today because Rob and I switched. So I'm working on some other stuff that I usually work on Thursdays today. I will be on the show tomorrow to fill in for Rob. And then Friday's a whole new world. Friday is the supersized Good Day Internet. We're doing a little experiment. Like, what if GDI was an hour long? What if it was just GDI and we didn't have Daily Tech News Show in it? So I'll be recording Daily Tech News Show earlier in the day, and we'll be pre-recording an interview with Dr. Nikki for that. And then at 1 o'clock for the live, we'll still have an hour GDI, but it will be an hour instead of a half hour. Usually it's a half hour DTNS, half hour GDI. It will be the whole hour will be GDI. We'll be bringing Dr. Nikki on there too to chat and looking for ideas for fun things to do during that live stream. So if you've got ideas, pop them in the Discord, send them to us, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. I am looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really fun, and we're going to learn a lot about how that works when we do it. So, if you'd like to be along for that ride, tell your friends. We are going to be doing that on Friday, normal time, normal length of show. So you show up, it's the same slot, but DTNS will already be in your feeds by that point. And we'll be just doing a live stream, hanging out with Dr. Nikki and chatting. I think Roger's got a quiz or something he's cooking up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's what's going on with that. Anything else before I get out of here? I don't think so. Yeah, so DTNS won't be live on Friday. It's going to be different. Just GDI for an hour. It's going to be different. It's going to be weird. And then back to normal on Monday. But yeah, just trying something out. See what happens when we do it. What if we gave GDI more space instead of just being like an after show? I don't know. Check it out, folks. We will be enjoying trying it out along with you. That's it for me. I'm going to go do some other stuff now. Some of it is prepping for Friday. So thanks, everybody, and have a good rest of your day. Talk to you soon.